Hey everybody, Alex Kolkowski here with Prime Media Consulting and the Total BS Show. I am super excited today because I get to work with Donna Lowe at Donna Lowe Salon and get to interview her for the show. So, as you guys know, for the people that watch the show, this show is all about the small business owner. We want to talk about the pitfalls, the success stories, the journey along the way that you had in starting your business. We want to just ask questions because this show is geared towards the idea of Donna's gone through the minefield. She's hit a couple speed bumps along the way, and other small business owners that have been on the show as well have gone through that minefield. We want to just help other small business owners moving forward not have to hit as many mines as we've had to go through across over the years. So that's what this show is all about. I'm super excited because Donna is our first beauty salon that we've had to talk to. And so I'm so excited to kind of get to know her industry a little bit more and help other beauty salons in the future maybe catch this show and learn something from Donna. So Donna, can you tell us a little bit about you and how we started the salon?
Hi everyone. My name is Donna Lowe, and I have quite a history. I started in the beauty industry when I was younger. I relocated here from Florida years ago, and when I moved into the northwest suburbs of Chicago, there wasn't a salon out here, so it was very difficult for me to get my hair done, myself and my family and others in the community. So that was almost 19 years ago, and I had the goal right then that I would make friends and I would do something about it. But life happens, and I was working in the corporate America, and I didn't have an opportunity to do it. In 2014, I was actually I resigned my position at the company I was working with, and it wasn't necessarily at that time with the intention to open the salon, but it opened the door. Sometimes things happen, and then you're like, okay, well, now let me jump on this goal that I've had. So in 2014, I started planning to open the salon. The salon was open in 2016. The salon is meant to be a place that welcomes everyone in the community. That's something we're very proud of. We are a multicultural salon. Yes, we do mostly curly Afro textured hair, but our stylists and our barbers are equipped to do everyone's hair. And in our community, we have minority families, and we have a lot of biracial and transracial families, and children that's being raised by mostly Black children that's being raised by white parents. And I wanted to educate, and I wanted to be able to assist. And an important aspect of the salon is about self-esteem and identity, and that's why I wanted the children in the community to have someone that looked like them in the storefront.
Okay, so what's interesting about your business is normally when I talk to stylists, they're the actual stylist. And you are not the stylist at your own salon. You have stylists that work for you. Can you tell me a little bit about how that happened and what benefit you have as just being the owner versus being the worker and owner?
Well, I think because first of all, I have the experience and exposure, so I know what's going on in the salon. So I'm still able to guide, coach, educate my stylists. Great team. So what I hire excellence. So all of the stylists that I have in the salon, they have years of experience. I wanted to run the business. I wanted to develop. I love the marketing. I love running the business. I like that adrenaline that I get when I am able to make decisions and watch them come and watch them grow. And that's what drives me. But I have a passionate team that believes in what I do as well and believe in the purpose of the salon. So that has been advantageous. So it's a little different business model, but it definitely works for us.
So what is it like being a minority-run business, especially in a county where the percentages of minorities isn't as high as maybe more urban areas?
It's about 1.5%, if that much. And you know what? My son always makes a joke. He says, "Mommy, you're a movie star." "Oh, Mommy, you're a star." And I'm like, "No, I'm not a star." But I think it comes with a lot of responsibilities, honestly. When you put yourself out there, everyone is looking at you. It is difficult and challenging sometimes because sometimes I have to look outside of my community for support. We all need a group of people that mentors us and helps us. I was able to do a network. I was able to develop a network, and I have great support system that assists me in that. But I will say it's difficult because I do believe that I would like McHenry County to do more to encourage minority-owned business and to support minority-owned businesses. So that has been challenging, but overall, it's been a pleasure.
Well, the also interesting thing is that it's not just a minority-run business; it's a female-led minority business, which I'm super excited to see. So tell me a little bit. I mean, because we talked a little bit before the show about there's a lot of programs for minority-run businesses, right? But
Correct.
female-led minority-run businesses is even more uncommon. Is that the right way of saying that? It's even less
Yeah.
common.
Well,
So tell me a little bit more about that.
oh, I'm sorry about that to interrupt, but I think female minority, especially Black women, run. We actually do own a lot of businesses. Now in McHenry County, that's different, and there are programs that support and offer support, especially like you said, to female and minority, and being Black in McHenry County. But I think. I've had to reach out to the Women Development Center in Chicago. They do an excellent job of actually supporting me because their focus is minority-owned business, women-owned led businesses. So that is how I've gotten my support. And we have excellent, and I will do the shout out right here to Renee. And Renee is the Algonquin, the president of the Algonquin Chamber of Commerce. And what I will say about Renee is when I have gone in there and griped a little bit about, hey, I need some more support as a female-owned and a minority-run business, and Renee will do what's necessary to assist. So that there, I will give the credit to her, but I think the county in general and even the local villages can do a little bit more. And there are funds out there and there are monies out there. So I think our community is changing, and I think that needs to be intentional for McHenry County.
So I totally agree. Renee is a great person. I've met her a few times, and she does run the Algonquin Lake in the Hills Chamber of Commerce in your local area. And so, but what's something that you're itching to try to do that you really haven't had the time or the resources to do?
Well, it kind of goes along with what I would, what the purpose of the salon is. I have dabbled a bit in it, but two things. First, we do education classes to parents that's raising children outside of their race. And basically what we do, we'll bring foster moms or adoptive moms or parents, biracial parents, or even Black parents that don't know how to care for their children here. And we will educate them in the class forum, or we'll do one-on-one mentoring and coaching with them on the care for the kids here. Now that takes some time because I'm lucky and I'm fortunate that we are there's a need for us. So the stylist team stay pretty busy. So sometimes that becomes an issue. So I haven't had the time to do that and expand that program as much as I would like to do. The other point that the other thing I would like to do is put like a hair shop that provides products for our hair in the community, because that is a challenge. Just like we didn't have a salon, if we want products for our hair, we have to go outside of the community. And I try to do that. I try to provide as much as I can, but if you want to do products and you want to do retail, that takes dollars. And I am not quite there yet, but I am working to develop that as well.
So for the people who may see you for the first time and don't know your business, can you tell us a little bit about where you're located and how people could find you?
Okay, so Donna Lowe Salon is located at 252 South Randall Road in Algonquin, Illinois. and we sit in front of Lowe's, Home Depot in on Randall, and between Bub Subs, I'm giving some shout out to other people that have supported me, to Bub Subs and Papa John's. And if you want to reach me, you can reach me either by going on Facebook, and it's Donna Lowe Salon, or you can reach us on Instagram, Donna Lowe Salon. I keep it pretty simple. And then you can also reach us by phone at 224-558-3216.
And
And I'm also on LinkedIn, so if you Google me, you can find me.
and speaking of Google, I hear that you might have a new website coming out soon.
Yes, and guess who's doing my website? And I am, I'm gonna give you a lot of credit, which I said to you yesterday. I have not. This is my 4th year in business, and there are a lot of people that came to me about developing a website, and I haven't had one develop. One, it was costly. 2, so I appreciate, because you made that a little bit more affordable, and you have a great plan to work with businesses if they want a website to develop it. But the other, what you was also able to do was, I was able to say to you, look at my social media. You spoke to me, and you was able to develop and create and put a flat platform and the works in place for my website, and no one else have been able to do that. So what I will say for your company is, you're very astute when it comes to looking at the messaging and getting to understand and know the business owner and the services they provide in developing the website. So look for that website. I'm going to put myself out here next week.
Oh, we put a timeline on it. I love it. I love it. So awesome. You'd be surprised how many people have timelines and those timelines get pushed. I like when people speak it on a public forum, that now I can hold them accountable.
I can go back now, right?
That's right. So that's awesome. So let's get back to some of the questions that I wrote down, probably 40, 50 questions, because you're one of the people that, just getting to know you over the course of a few months, and I've seen you here and there in different networking groups, you have a presence about you that just is very inviting. And so I can tell that you have a really good personality, and probably things roll off your shoulders a little bit more than the average person. But what are some of the hardest things about owning a small business?
Well, like I said, I've worked in corporate, and I've ran, I used to do social services, so I ran programs. It's easier when you're spending someone's money and you have somebody else's budget to work with. When the resources are a little bit more, you don't have as much resources, it does, that becomes a little bit challenging as to how you approach. So I would say, of course, I'm not wealthy, so the financial aspect of it was good. Also, I'm a very trusting person, and this is not only my baby, I have a passion for what I do. One of the things that I say is, here just happen to be the service we provide. We are truly invested in people, and I personally do invest in people. So I've been betrayed a few times. I have trusted some people, and things didn't quite work out. But at the end of the day, I believe in what I'm doing. So I keep focused, I regroup, I learn from my mistakes. Some of the things, put a good business plan in place. So one of the things I revisit quite often is my business plan, and I restructure it. It is not, it's not something that should be made in stone. It needs to be flexible and fluid, and you need to adjust for the times. One of the challenges I had was my product cost. When I initially opened a business, I sat with my accountant, I sat with a mentor, and I had my numbers together. Well, within the first month of being open, my product cost was blown. So I immediately, but because I had that business plan that I can revisit, and that financial aspect of it, I was able to revisit it and make those adjustments. Now, and just learn from your mistakes. Be honest with yourself. You can't, when you're running a small business, you can't just, go full force ahead and not stop to assess and stop to be honest. And another thing is also stop to listen. Listen to your customers, listen to your team, and listen to your mentors. Because I think if you listen to those people, sometimes you are kind of tunnel vision and blindsided, or you it's very tunnel vision, and they're able to add perspective sometimes that you're not able to do. So the challenge has been financially. I mean, it's small business, but also people's. Although I'm very welcoming and friendly, I am also very I am very direct, and that could be challenging for people sometimes. So that has been something that I've had to work through.
What's nice is I feel like I'm a very direct person, and
Uh-huh.
I love talking to very direct people. It's like a text message. It's like
Right.
people like text messages because it's short, sweet, to the point, and
Exactly.
that's the type of conversation I like to have. Is short, sweet, to the point. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. How can I help you? And then we're done. Um, and
Maybe that's why we work so well together with that website.
Absolutely. But so you talked about how, as a business owner, cost is a big thing. But you also have the joy of having employees. And so what do you say to this is my favorite question to ask people that have employees, just because it's always fun to hear their answer. What do you say to someone who says, I need to be paid more or I deserve to be paid more?
Well, I probably take and I actually people have advised me not to do this, but my approach is, and again, I probably goes with my personality. I've had people that say, well, yeah, I deserve to pay more and whatever, but what sometimes people don't understand the cost of running a business. They're looking at the revenues and they're doing the math in their head, and I did this much heads at this dollars, so I should get this more. So what I have done with my team is I have had very frank conversation. This is what it costs to run the business. The other piece is the salon is meant to be an incubator for people to launch their businesses. So one of the things that I want to do is ensure that my team is aware of how it takes and what it takes to run a business. So if I'm honest on things like, and I'm not saying to expose your entire business to people, but if you can give them the basic idea of what it costs to on a day-to-day basis, then I think there are some reality checks, and there are people that still didn't agree, and some of that mean that we had to part ways. And there are most of the time where people say, oh, I really didn't think about that, or I wasn't looking at it that way. And that has helped quite a bit with the people that feels like they need to get paid more. And I've actually adjusted some things because of some of those conversations as well.
I think what's nice is that because you're a direct person, I'm guessing you don't take offense when someone says, I deserve more, right? Because it's a great opening for that dialogue, which is what you and I kind of crave when it comes to working with people, is just the sheer honesty, is just be honest about what you want and what you think you deserve. And then I can either agree or disagree to that point. But as a small business owner, it's okay, if you want this, how can it be mutually beneficial so you can get what
Exactly.
you want, but also it can grow the company? So,
Right.
so that's the benefit that a small business owner has versus a big conglomerate, is because big conglomerates have to have standards and practices for everyone, one size fit all cookie cutter solutions, where a small business owner can massage a little bit more when it comes to pay and your level of deservedness
Right.
of what you think you should get. And so as long as it's mutually beneficial, there should be a way that they can run together. And that's why so many people love working for small businesses, is because you feel that growth. When Donna Lowe's salon grows, I feel like I have a piece of that.
Exactly.
I didn't feel like, and I don't know if you felt that way in corporate America too. When I was in corporate America, when the company grew from 500 million to 700 million, you know, I don't see that, but I can see Donna Lowe's salon grow from, I don't know, $10 to $20, whatever it is. So, I mean, that's the cool thing, is you have hands-on feeling and awareness of how your individual efforts of contributing is affecting the business. So that's why they feel like they deserve more. But then you invite them in to see kind of the behind the scenes stuff and say, okay, how do we make it so it's mutually beneficial for both of us? So I love that.
Yeah, and you know what, too? I think when you allow people to, if it's not going to be detrimental to the business, and to your point, as a as a business owner, a small business owner, I could be more fluid and I could be more flexible. So I don't have to go through a board of directors or whatever to say, okay, why don't we try this for, it's not going to be detrimental to the business. So why don't we try this idea for a month or two or whatever time frame and see if it works. And again, it could be mutually beneficial because they feel heard and they understand that I value their input and their opinion. And it's not just a flat out no, because that's not what we can do.
So, how do you get through a tough day?
Ooh, well, I pray a lot. Billy. I do that constantly. And I have some people that I can reach out to. I have a very solid support system. I have friends. I have very special friends, and I also have my family. So I reach out to the people around me, and then sometimes I have a glass of wine. At the end of the day, let's be honest. But you know what? If you keep your why and you know the why am I doing this? What's the rationale? Why did I start the business? We understand that even if we work for someone else, we're still going to have those tough days. But again, I'm working to pay my bills if I'm working for someone else. If this is my passion, this is what I want to do, and that why is consistently in front of me, it helps me get through those tough days. Now, with saying that, it doesn't mean that there are none of those days when I'm like, I'm locking the door, I'm shutting this bad boy down, and I'm out of here. But that's not going to happen. Because the purpose and what I have seen the benefits of the salon being in the community. I have had families. I mean, if you look at my testimonials, my reviews, our reviews for the salon, the stylist reviews, you will definitely see that we have made an impact and we continue to make an impact. And it's not about just doing hair in our community. So that keeps me going on those tough days.
Do you feel like do you have a separate group that you vent for business versus you vent for personal, or does it all kind of commingle?
Some of it commingles. Because of the dynamics of my friendship, the friends that I have very close friends, and I don't have like a big group of friends. And those friends, and most of the friends that I have actually are business owners or run corporation or at an executive level in companies. And then I have friends that, work for others or just run of the mill. But those people are also vested in my success and I'm vested in theirs. So when I pick up the phone and I call and I say the things that I can't repeat right now to them, whether it's on a personal level or a business level, they give me the opportunity to get over myself when I need to, or they, so it's a commingling, but there are definitely in different areas. I have very specific people that I can go to for guidance.
I kind of agree with you on that. I mean, I learned from reading, different articles and different books about business is that you kind of have to do a segment of you can't bring everything home to your wife or your spouse. You can't because they can't be your dump, basically, with
Right.
anything bad that goes to them. You kind of have to have pockets of people that you can be like, all right, I need to vent about this situation and have them be like, okay, I get this and here's how you can solve this problem. And that same group, you might have some that intermingle, but you have to have it fragmented out there because that's a lot of responsibility to put on an individual when there's problems or there's strife, to dump on that one person because now they're carrying all that burden. And as humans, we need to learn also that that you can't do that. It's going to mentally drain that person and make them feel over time against you. Because it's just always a negative conversation. So you got to have those. You got to have those people that you can go and say, okay, I'm going to leave my relation stuff with my spouse and with maybe a couple friends here and there. I got business stuff I can handle with these people. I mean, that's why people love like networking groups, for example, is because you can say, I'm having a problem, I'm having an issue, and these are people that are kind of in the same boat, maybe not the same industry, but the same boat as you. They're still on, and they're trying to figure out, all right, here's how I did it in my situation. And maybe you could take a little bit of that from that. Well, you can't get it from your friend who works at the Dairy Queen and doesn't know your same situation.
Yeah. And you know what? But to your point, also, not dumping all the negatives on them, but also including them in the celebrations and the victories. That is also important. So when something happened or you have a good day, it may not be a phone call, or sometimes it may be, but you also want to share those things with them so that they also see their value in the friendship, and they not just, like you said, becoming just a dumping ground for everything.
So for the people that might just be catching this on, I mean, we have an influx of people that are watching the show live, and then there's people on the replay. How do people get in touch with Donna Lowe Salon?
Okay, so Donna Lowe Salon, you can it's Donna Lowe Salon is my handle on Instagram. It's the same on Facebook, Donna Lowe Salon. Also, we are located at 252 South Randall Road in Algonquin, Illinois. You can also reach us by phone, or you can also go to our website, www.donnalowesalon.com.
Awesome. So how well do you differentiate yourself from competitors or competition? Do you have, I know you have a plan of action that you said is not set in stone, but it's something that you work off of. Do you have strategies to handle competition as well?
Yes, I do. I think your business model, customer service, I know this is something that's said a lot. A lot of people say, well, customer service is more important. But what does that mean? What did that truly mean after you repeat those words? Do your customers feel like they're coming to you and they're not just getting a hair service? Do they feel respected? Do they feel, I will tell you this, my customers, I feel like, are our customers as the salon. Our customers are vested. When we had to do the shutdown for COVID, I cannot tell you how many customers picked up the phone and called me to see how we're doing, to do that well-being check and to make sure that when you're going to be open, now they want their hair done, for real. But they also truly feel vested in the success of the salon. So I think if you truly appreciate, respect, and value your customers, it's not about just customer service, it's customer satisfaction, it's listening to your customers. I think, and competition is going to come. Imitation is the biggest form of flattery. It is a pain in the butt, to your point, but it also is the biggest form of flattery. And if I'm doing something right, if somebody else wants to open another salon in the community. I've shown them that it's valuable. I show them that it's profitable, and I show them that it's needed.
So, is there really any competition right now in your area for you, or?
Well, there is. There's competition. I have had there are one or two barbershops, and then we do have a lot of home stylists that do things within the community, and that's especially with hair, that's right, that's normal. So you also have to know who your competitors are, and you do need to know that those people that do the hair in the home and stuff like that, they are competitors, because they are building a clientele, they're building a format, they're building relationships. So you can't ever overlook someone because you think that they are not on your level, and you be humble. Be humble. One of the things that I definitely do is I have given advice, just like when I was opening my salon, I was able to go to other people that already have salon and owns businesses and ask their advice. I take the time to do that. Even if they're going to be a company, you're not getting my business model, and I'm not putting it all out there. You're not getting my business plan, but I am going to at least offer some advice and some guidance. So yeah, the competition is coming. I've heard the rumors. It's on its way.
I think that's very interesting you say that, because there's two things I'd like to unpack out of that. Is one, I love the conversations when a new business starts that's in my field, and I get the call of, I'd love to have sitting down and have coffee with you and kind of learn about your business and all that type of stuff. And then it's asking me like the details of my business. I'm like, I'm not going to give you that, but I'll tell you kind of what you can do and how it kind of works, but I'm not going to tell you the secret sauce. I'm not McDonald's.
No, even McDonald's, I don't think share their secret sauce.
No, not until I think it finally leaked after like 70 years of the secret sauce. But the idea of competition is I've never thought of anyone being a direct competitor. I've said this on many episodes that we've had on here, is that I truly feel if another website company was out there in the marketplace, they just offer the same service a different way. And that's how I've always kind of done that, because if I think of you as competition, now it's a me versus you, as opposed to, and how can we work together in the community? I mean, there's probably other website companies out there, I hope not, but maybe there is, in the world. Eventually maybe we'll be the only one. Right. But how can we all work together to make things work? And I think if you're a business owner, that should be the mindset. It's not about me versus you, because either I'm going to win or you're going to win, and someone's going to feel like crap. And it's more, how can we work together? But when you're working with someone, you don't give away your secrets. So
no, and that's a balance, and I do feel like you guide people, but I am not going to give you my plan. I'm not going to, and I've had questions, and I think most of the conversations I've had has been positive, but I do feel like there has been some instances when people want more, and you have to that's where when you're direct, that's where it makes it a little easier, and you just you can't dance around it. You say just what you said. I'm not giving you my business plan. I'm not giving you the secret sauce, but please let me help you. Let me mentor you. Let me guide you. Call me with questions that is when you get stuck with something, so that I can assist you in any way possible, or refer you to a network of people that can help you.
So can you tell me about the first week of you opening up your business after the COVID? I mean, because you said a little bit about it over the phone a couple of days ago, but just explain the abundance of support and love that you guys got the first time that you said, hey, we're opening up and we're ready to take appointments.
Well, we got a lot of, we very favored and blessed. I do think that the customers, they were waiting. But one of the things that was important, and again, we just talked about trust with your customers and building confidence with them. I think my customers knew, and our customers knew, that we were going to ensure that they're safe. So, part of what I did while we were closed was I shared what I was doing to get prepared so that they can come into a safe environment and that we can keep everyone safe. But the phone calls have been, it's been coming. The phone call has come. We have had success. You haven't been able to reach me when you want to sometimes, but I'm not ignoring you, I promise. And we did a slow open. When we opened the first few days, we didn't pack the schedule. We did like some dry runs for the first few days, and we kind of tweaked a little bit of things and made sure that the procedures and things that we had in place was working. The other things that I did was when we were opening the salon, our team had a meeting before, and we actually pretended that we were customers and things like that, so we can do that run through. But our customers have been here. They have been great. We have been able to expand with our stylist team, and we're going to have we have another barber, and we're going to have 2 other stylists. So and unfortunately there were people with when COVID happened where their salons may have closed or their small businesses been closed. So we have been fortunate to have the advantage where we have the space that we were able to welcome others to our team. The other piece is one of the things that you talked about earlier about how do I want to expand the salon. One of the things that I never wanted was for it to be viewed as a Black salon. We're not a Black salon, we're a multicultural salon. And that is important for me because as you may know that we are very involved in the community. We want to be part of the community. And even in my open statement on my Facebook page, it says where everyone can feel at home. And we truly mean that. And we have been able to expand our business to a lot of people. Other cultures are feeling more comfortable coming in. It might have something to do with the climate, and people are rethinking how they look at businesses. But we have been blessed in the last few weeks.
So COVID
wasn't exactly all bad. for us as a business. It's bad for people's health. Yeah.
So one of the things I wanted to do is you had a couple comments that came through so far, so I wanted to acknowledge a couple people. Someone named Rodney Wilkerson said, "Beautiful, intelligent businesswoman." Derek
Hey, Ryan.
Derek, who owns Gold Shield, says Donna is amazing. Stephanie Burrows, who's a realtor in your area, says, "What a beautiful woman and an amazing soul. Talk about business with grace." I mean, what's great is people get to know your heart and they get to know you. And what's really nice, if anything, I hope that's come out of the last few weeks of Corona and all the other stuff that's going on is that open your eyes and just talk to people and get to know people. And as we said earlier, that you're one of the people that I've seen in different networking groups, networking events, and you just have that presence that is warm and inviting, and you're willing to talk to anyone, and that's what's so cool. So what I wanted to ask you is, outside of work, when do you have the most fun, and what do you do?
Oh, well, Corona has stop all my fun. But what I do is I actually I spend a lot of time with I have I'm the mom of three children. My daughter is kind of on her own. She's an adult, and my son is in the army. So it's just right now I'm a single mom. So it's me and my 14-year-old, and he might be tired of me sometimes, but I do spend a lot of time with him because and that fulfills me. I have some friend groups. I have some friend girls that I hang out with, and we do some other things together. But family is really important to me. So I do spend quite a bit of time with his name is Christian, with Christian, and my daughter visits a lot, and I spend a lot of time on Messenger with my son. But then I have some friends, and if you just bear with me for a minute, one of them is going to go on name because I know they don't want me to say their name. But I also have Victoria, Candace, Jessica. I have some friends, Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa. Those are people I know. You know Vanessa, I think. So those are people that I can reach out to. And my team, honestly, we are like a family here. So we try to do things that is not necessarily related to the salon as much as we can. You know, my stylist kids call me TT. You know, we are part of each other's family because we spend so much time with each other. So we also encourage each other outside of here. And my church is very important to me. We have a church. It's called Cornerstone Baptist Church of Cary, and my church is very supportive. And I do spend quite a bit of time at the church. We also do a teen group. I actually lead the teen group at the church. So those are the things that I do outside of the salon to fulfill me and to help me have that balance, because it can't all be work. You're going to get burned out. And you're not going to be good to anyone, including your business, if you don't take that time to step away sometime.
One of the things that you said that was interesting is that you treat everyone like a family. And I think everyone, that's their goal as a small business owner is that if someone chooses to work for you, so as much as you are hiring someone, they choose to work for you every 2 weeks.
Very true.
Yeah. So, but at some point, you have to be the leader. And so what do you feel are your biggest strengths as a leader? And what do you feel are the things that you're trying to work on to become an even better leader?
I think we'll start with what I probably had to work on. I think being direct it could be an asset, but it can also be a problem. Because you have to understand you have to take ownership for how people perceive you, especially when you're in leadership, because perception is their reality. So you have to kind of step back, and when you have a personality that can be overwhelming or strong, you do need to step back sometime, and you have to, and that's where it's important for you to learn your team. If you learn your team and you understand what they need, leadership is important. It can't be all work, and you cannot have people believing that the only thing that you want from them is what they can give to you. what you can take from them. So as a leader, I love, and that word, that word has a lot of meaning, but I love my team. I love my customers. As a leader, I take my leadership, I coach, I develop. I think that's something that I do very well, coaching and develop and encouraging others. And always looking for how to expand, because people also want to see. My team wants to know, as a leader, I am not satisfied with just being in this building and just what we do, because then how are they going to grow financially and as a person? So, give them the training they need. You train them, you have clear expectations, you're consistent with your expectations, and you treat people fairly. Now, fair doesn't mean the same, because people need different things, but fair means fair, meaning that I would handle any situation that is presented to me and give people the same thought and respect as I would give anyone else. So as a leader, that's pretty much my approach. You love people and you invest in others.
So as this show is really geared towards the new business owner, someone that's just starting out, trying to get the ball rolling up, kind of up the hill, really, until it starts going downhill. What do you think that every small business owner should focus on as becoming a better leader? What's the one characteristic?
You listen. Listen to what others have to say. Listen, and then you also have to, you don't know everything, but you also have to invest in your personal growth, and you have to build a network. You cannot be a small business owner and do this by yourself. You have to have that network around you. So it's very important that you build a network. But listen to the people that's working for you, and be flexible, where as long as your goals, the goals are always going to be the same most times. But if you are flexible enough and fluid enough, and you're able to make adjustments, that is going to help you as a small business owner, because there are things that is just going to come, and you're a one-man show most of the time. So if you are not a person that is good with change, that's going to be challenging for you. If you're not a person that that takes things personally, that is going to be challenging for you. So as new business owners, please build a network, listen to your people, listen to your customers. The customers have given me a lot of guidance as to what I thought they needed versus what they said they needed.
I think you're right, and what you said earlier makes perfect sense. Is listen to people. Not everyone is treated fair, and one of the things that I've learned is about my personality is, and I try to say this now as I laugh about it, is
Right.
I give really bad first impressions when I talk to people, because I come across direct, and that's part of the downfall of being a direct person is the I don't give a F mentality of what you think or say. It can turn people off. It gravitates to a lot of people who love being direct, but it can put people off. And I don't know if I ever shared this. I think I did. But I remember the first time I met you, I said I was going to call you or have a meeting or something, and I didn't. And then the next time I met you, it was like 3 or 4 months later, you said you never called. And I was like, damn.
I do hold you accountable. Don't tell me you're going to do something that you're not.
And I you know what I appreciate? I think I said that to you, and I meant it with all sincerity, is that I appreciate someone who is direct and honest to me and holds me accountable, because I try to do that for everyone else. And I think in this world, people are too scared to walk on each other's foot, and they don't say what they actually mean, and so you can never get something solved. And I appreciated that about you, and that's why I really started grabbing towards you more, is that I appreciate the fact that, okay, this is someone I can talk to. This is someone that is a real person and doesn't, what I like to say, grin fucks me, but there's a different way of saying it, I guess, in the public setting. I'm a very direct person who just gives you lip service and tells you what you want to hear and then talks nonsense behind your back.
Exactly.
So I appreciate that. That shows to me that you are a true leader, is that you hold people accountable, you treat them fair, And that's what I really appreciate about you as a business owner. I'm sure that's why your staff and the customers. I looked at your reviews, 156 reviews you have on Zagaro about your website. I mean, about your business. I mean, you can't be doing something right or wrong and have that many positive reviews. You are doing an amazing job of cultivating the community around Donna Lowe Salon. And so I think that's really awesome. So if people wanted to come to your shop, multicultural shop, how do they come to your salon, and how do they reach you?
Okay, so if anyone needs to reach me, you can www.lowesalon.com. That is our website. You can book your appointments there. You can also call or text us at 224-558-3216, or you can reach out to us on either on our social media page. A lot of people reach out on Google. I haven't mentioned Google, but we do get a lot of response through Google and Yelp. But our social media page is Donna Lowe Salon, and that is both on our Instagram and our Facebook.
Awesome. So if you could go back in time, what would you tell your younger self?
Okay, well, as it has to do with what? Because that can be a dangerous question.
Oh, let's just unpack everything. Let's go for it, personally and professionally, and owning a business.
Well, I think what I will tell my younger self, and I still struggle with that, is not to be so hard on yourself. I think because I have expectations of people, like I called you out, and it wasn't, and it really, I know you're saying it, and I'm thinking I did do that, didn't I? But it wasn't meant. It wasn't meant. It probably wasn't meant as negative as probably came across.
Oh, I never took it negatively. I never took it negatively. I appreciated it more than anything.
But because I hold others to a high standard, I hold myself. So sometimes I tell myself to stop and breathe. Stop, and you're going to allow yourself. And I think I learned that because of my having children. It's okay to make mistakes. It's not the end of the world. One of your strongest assets is going to be your resilience. So I would tell my younger self to chill a little bit and don't be so hard on yourself, and you're going to be okay. You have proven to yourself that you can overcome challenges.
I think what's interesting as a small business owner is when you start your business, you don't expect it, but you secretly want it to grow like lightning speed, right?
I expected it now. You kind of expect it.
But I mean, the idea behind it is that I see so many people that go to different networking groups or different business associations and things like that, and they start their business, and then 3 months later, 6 months later, they're doing something else. And it's because the improper expectations of what it takes to grow a business, what it takes to stay profitable in a business, and what it takes to build the awareness about who you are. Because you think of it this way, let's say you start a beauty salon, they already have a stylist that they've gone to for probably years. Right. So you kind of have to wait that opportunity to say, okay, they either become dissatisfied with that salon, or you've just invited them enough times where they say, okay, let's give you a shot. And everyone's looking for that microwave result of, I need business now, I need it now, because they probably have rent, they probably have other different things that they have to pay to get things going. But to do that, you have to really market yourself out there as the warm, inviting person that over time they can go to, or if you need something now, we're going to take care of it. And I think people try and go one way or the other. They don't try and focus on both. So what is the thing that you are doing to actively grow your business?
One of the things I do is my presence. I make sure, first of all, I'm consistent with and my team. And I don't know if I said it enough here, so let me say it. My team is excellent. And I'm sorry, I'm almost losing me here. So my team is I have an excellent team, and they support me, and they're consistent with the execution. But one of the things that I have had to learn to do is patience. I gave people when I first, and I didn't do things, I don't do things necessarily the way it's said to be done. One of the things that I did with my business when I started the business was I literally went to the local grocery stores and the local restaurants and things, and I passed up my cards. Personally, me, foot, I work in every day, budgeted some time and did. So one of the things that you have to do is have patience. I have had people that I gave a card when I was first opening the salon and they didn't come for 3 years and they show up. And I always believe that when they show up, you have to be ready. So that's the reason why you need to know what your business is. You need to be certain about your execution and you need to be kind to people. There are people that I have had to refer out because we weren't able to take them and they needed to get somewhere. So you build a team of I build some networks where I can refer out. But what I'm telling people about growing a business is not going to happen overnight. I know social media makes everything looks, we live in this microwave age and we live in this social media time where everyone is fabulous and everyone is a boss chick and everybody's all of that and everybody's rolling in money. That's BS. That is not what it takes to run a business. You're going to cry. You're going to pull your hair out. You're going to not know some days you're not going to be sure that you can pay all the bills that you need to pay. You are going to be uncertain. You're going to question yourself sometimes. But ultimately, if you have developed a plan and you believe in what it is that you have and you're clear about your why, I go back to that because I truly believe on those difficult days, if you develop your why and you have put some thought, you can't just open. A lot of times I get people that come and they say, Donna, I want you to sit with me because I want to do this. And then I say to them, okay, let's meet next week. And they show up to me and they don't have a business plan. And I'm like, and a business plan doesn't mean that it has to be a book. It just means that who are you? What's your target market? Do you know who your customer is going to be? Do you know who your competitors are going to be? Do you know what your challenges are? And if you know those things, when you get stuck and you go back and you revisit those areas of challenges, or you have something that you have to write it down. If you write it down, it gives you an opportunity to go back and say, well, that didn't quite work, or this is working great. And you can I'm sorry, I thought I put that on to ring. Yeah. No, it's not. Oh, okay. I think what can help me grow right now is one of the things that I am looking at, honestly, I'm going to put that out there, is I love my location, right? But my location is expensive. My storefront is expensive. I think, when we talk about reassessing things, it was necessary for me to be in a location where I was visible when I was starting. Now, what I am looking at is there a location where I can possibly look at that may offer me the same visibility and the same access to the client, but not necessarily cost as much. So I'm looking at cost. The other piece of it is supporting me. Tell people who I am. Most people know me. No, most people, I'm pretty much who I am right here. Ask people to come visit me. If you know someone that could use our services, refer me.
I think what's nice about different businesses.
Do and some to help me grow, or there is something that you think I'm not taking advantage of, reach out and talk to me. But definitely, I think for me to continue growing, it's going to be that continued community support. Okay, there we go. Okay.
And I say I
Uh-huh.
have the magic button, and I could fix one thing. It would be what, a better location? Do you think that's going to be the
I think a better location is going to, and I think just resources for me to expand in the areas that I talked about earlier, as far as the education, the hair education classes that I do, and also the ability to offer more retail products to my customers. Those would be the areas that you can assist.
as a business owner, what tasks are you outsourcing, and what are you trying to do yourself and keep in house?
Well, one of the things that I have to do, a challenge that I've had is because I like that one-on-one personal relationship with my customers, I had to acknowledge continue to grow, that was not going to work anymore. As the business grew, as the business continues to grow, and I had this conversation with a young lady this morning that is the barber actually that's working here, and I asked her, could she, on her days when she's not on her days off or her days when she's not working, would she be willing to come in and do some more administrative things for me? And also to answer the phone, do some things like that, because those are some things that I need to get off my plate in order so that I can focus on some other things. And I think as we continue to grow, I had to assess what does it mean to have that. I do like that one-on-one with my clients. When I first started, my goal was that every new client that came in the door, and I was able to do that at some point, was that I would be there to greet them and say hello, or at least meet them within their first two appointments. And that is not always realistic right now. So this is where my team in. Now I am pretty certain that the consistency of who we are as a company, I don't need to be there for it, because my team is able to model those behaviors, and we have the same standard whether or not I'm in the building. So what I did was I had to give up a lot of the administrative duties. I'm not giving up my accounting, because I need to know my money. I need to count my own money. I have an accountant, but my day-to-day financials, I think it's very important as a business owner to understand your financials. And the other thing that I think I am pushing aside a little bit is I'm working with another stylist, another salon. And we are working to see how we can support each other. We are not of the same ethnicity, but there are some things that she do very well. And there are some things that her looking at me. And I don't know if she wants me to share it right now, so I'm not going to say who she is. But there are some things that she reached out to me and asked. And she actually gave me some advice as to the networking. And you can get lost in networking sometimes. It's just so much happening. I mean, COVID changed, and she had all advice when I heard about a year ago, and we kind of connected, right? And we're working to support each other.
What's interesting is you brought that up is that how the coronavirus has really changed businesses. That there's two types of networking. There's active networking, and then there's passive networking. So active networking is you're actually going out there and you're going to shake hands, kiss babies, pass business cards, everything that you're taught to do when you first start a business. And you're trading your time for the opportunity cost of getting a lead and getting something. So if you make that one awesome connection at the Algonquin Chamber, awesome, that's great. Because I know they put on some really fabulous events. If you do a scramble, hopefully you can meet 2 to 3 other different businesses and do that. If I go to a networking group like Prime Power Partners or something else, I can maybe meet a couple different people and grow that sphere of influence. But you're trading your time in for that. Then there's passive marketing, which is I'm going to post on social media. I'm going to post on, I'm going to have a website. I'm going to market my website, and I'm going to get leads to come find me because I'm casting that out there. And then when they have that need, they come find me for that service. And I find that too many businesses do one or the other. They don't really find a connection between the two. And it's the successful businesses that can say, all right, I'm going to do the active networking. I'm going to join the Algonquin Lake in the Hills Chamber like you did. I'm going to join I'm going to build a website that hopefully people can find and see my stuff, and so they can opt into my message. Is that so many people put their eggs in a particular basket and they don't recognize they should be in all the baskets. And so
yes, and I'm sorry, go ahead.
No,
and that can be challenging because the other part is it's your baby, right? It's your baby. You have everything in it, and you are so emotionally tied to your business. And that is where you have to keep perspective. You building that website for me and you helping me with that is going to allow me to be even more visible. I think, let me tell you, I didn't know anything about social media when I first started. My daughter set up a Facebook page for me years ago, and I wanted nothing to do with social media. So when I was going to open a business, my daughter, first of all, I'm going to call her out because she works in marketing, believe it or not. And I thought that she was going to do my marketing for me and then she says, she helped for a while and she was like, look, I got my own job. I need to do this. So one of the things that I had to do was I did have to learn how to market. And to your point, what I learned was about optimization. And, those are words that they were out there, but I didn't know exactly what it meant and how much it would mean as far as the growth of the business. But I took the time to do it. But, and because you are financially limited when you're starting your business, you are going to have to do that. And to your point, you're trading your time. And
did we lose you again? Donna, are you there?
on Facebook, and I could have probably $300 into it at the end of the day, and would that 15 hours would have been better spent somewhere else. So you do have to. There's a constant balancing of you have to know what your strengths are, and then also you may have team members that is actually really good at doing things. And earlier you talked about being a big corporation versus being a small business. The advantage to being a small business is I don't need to go to a CEO or somebody else or board or whatever to be able to ask one of my team members or to make that decision to maybe pay them a little more or ask them to come in another time and to ask them to assist me in the process. So I think we can burn ourselves out because it's our baby, but that website that you're building for me and that you have built for me basically is going to be something that is, and I am so passionate about this. It's going to allow me to optimize my business and expose my business on a level that I don't think that I could right now, because I think I have actually kind of maxed out in certain areas. And I think that website is going to get visibility, and it looks really good. It's just so clean, and it is so Donna, and that was important for me. And I'm not just saying that; it really is. When I send it out and I ask people to give me feedback on it, one of the things that they said to me was, "It's you. It's who you are. It's how you present yourself." And the website best definitely. So here you go. So the website was able to communicate that.
I think what's nice about what you're saying is that you have to kind of think about both, and too few business owners really think of the cost of marketing their business. Yeah. And the idea behind it really is. If you focus on the active marketing, which is totally cool. I've never shied away from going out there, shaking hands, kissing babies, go to the chambers, go to the different events. Awesome. Go do it. But for every dollar that you bring in, you need to set 7 to 10 cents on that dollar towards the passive marketing. Because what you end up having is what you've experienced is I'm maxed out on what I can do. So right. if my time is going to be in the shop, or my time is going to be in different events, I still have to attract people who aren't there. And right. So you need so that's why you need to have a small percentage, 7 to 10% on the dollar, to funnel into an account to market, whether it's a website, whether it's optimization, whether it's Google AdWords, whether it's Google Guarantee for service-based businesses, Home Advisor, Thumbtack. There's a ton of different things. Whatever the passive vehicle is, to make it so you are being found where you're not actively found. So that's what, or actually actively being. So that's what I like about what you're saying, is you're hitting the nail on the head of that. You've reached your capacity for your active marketing. You're doing a ton.
Yeah.
Now it's, how do I grow the next step? And I think maybe one of the things that I think you said earlier was, maybe I should have been doing this a little bit sooner.
Yeah, you know what? It is I think there were some things for me. I wanted that website. For me, it was, who is going to do it? And there was somebody else that probably gotten to do it, and I actually thought about it, but I still, you did it, and I'm going to use her in other areas too. But I do think for me, it wasn't so much. Yeah, the cost was definitely probably 50% of it, but the other 50% of it was that I didn't want to. I couldn't find someone to communicate, and to communicate, or who I am and who the business is. And I think when you're doing all of those things you're doing, if you don't have that right fit, that can be detrimental to you. And because I take my salon and our salon and so personally, I wanted to make sure that I definitely had that person. So I think I agree with everything you just said, but I think choose carefully when you're working with someone that is going to be presenting your image out there.
Awesome. So I wanted to thank Donna for joining us for this awesome installment of the Total BS Show, which the BS stands for Business Spotlight, not for those people that think it's but I really do appreciate your time, because I know how valuable you feel, your time is. And one more time, if someone was looking for a new salon in the southern McHenry County, northern Kane County area, how would they reach Donna Lowe Salon?
Okay, so you can reach Donna Lowe Salon by online at www.donnalowesalon.com. You can also reach us on Facebook or Instagram. Either page, it's Donna Lowe Salon, and I'm very visible on Yelp and Google as well. And then look out soon for our amazing website that is going to be launched next week.
I love it. Put the timeline on it. Well, thank you so much. I truly do appreciate your time. I love having a conversation with you, because I know it's going to be real, direct, and to the point, just like a text message. So thank you so much.
Well, thanks, Alex. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We'll talk to you guys later as we dive in next week to even more BS.
Thank you.